feel what you feel. And you like you ain't who you are. They don't know what you've been through. And you try to be humble, don't you? Be quiet and just chill. But sometimes you gotta pop out and show them. Like you don't see what you see. Like you don't feel what you feel. And you like you ain't who you are. They don't know what you've been through. And you try to be humble, don't you? Be quiet and just chill. But sometimes you gotta pop out and show them. Nice, I like it.
My beloved brothers believe is that the day starts in the evening time, according to scripture. So they will say, well, in Genesis it reads, in the evening and the morning were the first day. And I would agree with that. It does read that. It does. That's what it says. But when you get to chapter 2, and you know, when it says, and he rested on the seventh day, it never says in the evening and the morning was the seventh day.
Stop it, my nigga!
That means he was resting during the daylight hours, brother. That is not true. I don't know why they continue to teach that when clearly in the so-called New Testament it states at the end of the Sabbath as it began to dawn towards the first day of the week. So dawn means to grow light.
Cause I smell the cat. Some of y'all be tripping with no mask. Stop all the cat.
The difference between evening and night. Both happen after the day, but they are not the same. Evening is the time just before it gets dark. Think 5 p.m. to possibly 8 p.m. You can still do things, you know, cook dinner, go out for walks, watch TV, listen to some music, dance, play dominoes and stuff. Night starts when it's dark. Remember, our Elohim said, in the darkness he called night. Think after 8 or 9 p.m. It's the time to rest, sleep, or say good night. With that, these dumb-ass Hebrew Israelites would have you believe that the evening is the start of the day and that it only lasts 3 hours. At the beginning of every seventh day. This doesn't say the evening is the beginning of every seventh day. That's not what that said. That's what he wants it to say, but it doesn't say that. At the beginning of every seventh day, in the evening. Now let's go to the next page. In the evening twilight. So, he would say, gotcha. Okay, here we go. Now I'm going to show y'all something here. This is 2 Kings 7:5. It reads, and they rose up in the twilight to go unto the camp of the Syrians. And when they were come to the uttermost part of the camp of Syria, behold, there was no man there. So it says they rose up at twilight. Definition of twilight's right here. H5399, twilight. It says properly a breeze, that is by implication dusk. When the evening breeze prevails, dark, dawning of the day, morning, night, twilight. So twilight can mean dusk or dawn, depending on when you're using it. If you see twilight and it says twilight like it does in 2 Kings 7:5, it usually means dusk. But if it says dawn, that means the morning. That means it's dawning, it's growing towards daylight. That is also called a twilight. Dawn is also called twilight. Okay? Let's go to another one. Wherefore they arose and fled the twilight, and left their tents and their horses, and their asses, even the camp as it was, and fled for their life. Twilight. Properly, breeze, that is dusk, when the evening breeze prevailed, dark dawning of the day. Same thing, what we just read. Same thing. There are 3 types of twilights. The first one is a civil twilight. You have a nautical twilight and an astronomical twilight, right? Astronomers define the 3 stages of twilights on the basis of how far the sun is below the horizon. The morning twilight is often called dawn, while the evening twilight is also known as dusk. Silver twilight, dawn, and dusk. Silver twilight occurs when the sun is less than 6 degrees below the horizon. In the morning, silver twilight begins when the sun is 6 degrees below the horizon and ends at sunrise. In the evening, it begins at sunset and ends when the sun rises. Okay? Y'all got that? If not, let me give you a better demonstration. Hold on, I got another one. Let me give you. What does the twilight symbolize? By analogy, with evening twilight, the word twilight is also sometimes used metaphorically to imply that something is losing. Listen to me. Losing strength and approaching its end. For example, very old people may be said to be in the twilight of their lives. So they may be in the dusk, dusky, the end of their lives. Dawn is the beginning, meaning to grow light. Dusk decreases. Dawn increases. Without further ado, let's get to the scriptures and see what they got to say. Let's go to Genesis 1. We're going to start at 31. It reads, And Elohim saw everything that he had made, and behold, it was very good. And the evening and the morning were the 6th day. Right? They'll say, I got you. Let's go to the next chapter, right? Chapter 2. And thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all of the host of them. And on the 7th day, God ended his work, which he had made, and he rested on the 7th day from all his work, which he had made. And Elohim blessed the 7th day and sanctified it, because that in it he had rested from all the work which Elohim created and made. You never read, and the evening and the morning were the 7th day. Why? Let's go to verse 1 again. Verse 2, my apologies. And on the 7th day, Elohim ended his work. What day did he end his work? Day. H331 in the Hebrew. Day, time, year, day, opposed to night. Day, a 24-hour period, as defined by evening and morning in Genesis 1. So according to y'all, evening and morning would only be 12 hours. He worked during the day at sunup Just like the Messiah said, are there not 12 hours during your day? And that day is the same day as this, H3117. Let's go. Matter of fact, let's start at 2352. It reads, this man went in unto Pilate and begged for the body of the Messiah. And he took it down and wrapped it in linen, and laid it in the sepulchre that was hewn stone, wherein never man before was laid. And that day was the preparation, and the Sabbath drew on. So, that day that he took the body down was preparation day before the Sabbath started. Like it says, and the Sabbath drew on, meaning it began to get closer. Because they would have been breaking the Sabbath if that day started in the evening. Okay.
Motherfucker!
Let's go to Mark. We're going to go to Mark. We're going to start at 16:1. It reads, and when the Sabbath was past, Mary Magdalene and Mary, the mother of James and Solomon, had brought sweet spices that they might come and anoint him. And very early in the morning, the first day of the week. Why? Because the Sabbath ended at sunup. Like it says, very early in the morning, the first day of the week. That means the seventh day had to end. Because this was the first day of the week.
Motherfucker!
Let's see what this. And very early in the morning, the first day of the week, they came unto the sepulchre at the rising of the sun. The rising of the sun, the first day of the week. Early in the morning. Okay, this is my little chart I made right here. You see the scriptures here represent this time. And we'll just go through that as I'm going. We go. The first scripture here is Mark 14:34. Let's go there. Get your Bible, because that's what I'm doing. Mark 14. And we're going to verse 34. Mark 14, verse 34. We're going to read through 40. And saith unto them, my soul is exceedingly sorrowful unto death. Tarry ye here, and watch. And he went forward a little, and fell on the ground, and prayed that, if it were possible, the hour might pass from him. Who is this talking here? This is the Messiah. And he said, Abba, Father, all things are possible unto thee. Take away this cup from me, nevertheless, not what I will, but what thou wilt. And he cometh, and findeth them sleeping, and saith unto Peter, Simon, sleepest thou? Couldst not thou watch 1 hour? Watch ye and pray, lest ye enter into temptation. The spirit truly is ready, but the flesh is weak. Verse 39. And again he went away, and prayed, and spake the same words. Verse 40. And when he returned, he found them asleep again, for their eyes were heavy, neither was they wont to answer him. So that's Mark 14:34. Mark 14:34 through 40. Now, let's go to Matthew 26, because this is proving the timeline here. Matthew 26 and 38. Matthew 26 and 38. And it reads, Then saith he unto them, My soul is exceedingly sorrowful, even unto death. Tarry ye here and watch with me. And he went a little further, and fell on his face, and prayed, saying, O my Father, if it be possible, let this cup pass from me. Nevertheless, not as I will, but as thou wilt. Verse 40. And he cometh unto the disciples, and findeth them asleep, and saith unto Peter, What, could ye not watch with me 1 hour? What, could ye not watch with me 1 hour? Now, we're going to jump to verse 50. And this is Matthew 26, verse 50. And it reads, And the Messiah said unto him, Friend, wherefore art thou come? Then came they, and laid hands on the Messiah, and took him. And behold, one of them which were with the Messiah stretched out his hand, and drew his sword, and struck a servant of the highest priest, and smote off his ear. Verse 52. Then said the Messiah unto him, Put up again thy sword into his place, for all they that take the sword shall perish with the sword. Verse 53. Verse 55. In that same hour said the Messiah to the multitude, Are ye come out as against a thief with swords and staffs for to take me? I sat daily with you teaching in the temple, and ye laid no hold on me. But all this was done, that the scriptures of the prophets might be fulfilled. Then all the disciples forsook him and fled. Okay? So this was at the time when he was praying to the Father to take this cup from him, because he knew what was about to come. So this time period is here. Right between there. Where that moon is, the first moon going to the sun, that's that time period. Let's go to Luke 22. Luke 22:42. Luke 22, verse 42. And it reads, saying, Father, if thou be willing, remove this cup from me. Nevertheless, not my will, but thine be done. And there appeared an angel unto him from heaven, strengthening him. And being in an agony, he prayed more earnestly. And his sweat was as it were great drops of blood falling down to the ground. And when he rose up from prayer, he was come to his disciples. He found them sleeping for sorrow. And he said unto them, Why sleep ye? Rise and pray, lest ye enter into temptation. Let's jump to verse 50. Verse 50. This is Luke 22, verse 50. And one of them smote the servant of the high priest, and cut off his right ear. And the Messiah answered and said, Suffer ye thus far. And he touched his ear and healed him. Then the Messiah said unto the chief priests and captains of the temple, and the elders which were come to him, Be ye come out as against a thief with swords and staffs? When I was daily with you in the temple, ye stretched forth no hands against me. But this is your hour, and the power of darkness. Then took they him and led him and brought him into the high priest's house, and Peter followed after afar off. Verse 55. And when they had kindled a fire, I wonder why they were kindling a fire. Because it was nighttime when they took the Messiah. And when they had kindled a fire in the midst of the hall, and were set down together, Peter sat down among them. But a certain maid beheld him as he sat by the fire, and earnestly looked upon him, and said, This man was also with him. And he denied him, saying, Woman, I know him not. And after a little while, another saw him and said, Thou art also of them. And Peter said, Man, I am not. And about the space of 1 hour after, another confidently affirmed, saying, Of a truth, this fellow also was with him, for he is a Galilean. And Peter said, Man, I know not what thou sayest. And immediately, while he spake, the cock crew. So that was that night when they took him. It was getting ready to turn day. Pay attention to the chart, please. It's getting ready to turn day. We still here. It's nighttime. This is the first night. They took him at night. Okay? Now let's go to John 19. John 19:1. Let's go. This is the book of John, chapter 19, and we're going to read from 1 to 6. Then Pilate therefore took the Messiah and scourged him. And the soldiers platted a crown of thorns and put it on his head, and they put on him a purple robe, and said, Hail, King of the Jews! And they smote him with their hands. Pilate therefore went forth again and saith unto them, Behold, I bring him forth to you, that ye may know that I find no fault in him. Then came the Messiah forth, wearing the crown of thorns, and the purple robe. And Pilate saith unto them, Behold, this man! Behold, the man! When the chief priests, therefore, and officers saw him, they cried out, saying, Crucify him! Crucify him! Pilate saith unto them, Take ye him and crucify him, for I find no fault in him. The Jews answered him. Oh, my bad. Let's jump to verse 13. But I'm going to read the rest of that. The Jews answered him, We have a law, and by our law he ought to die, because he made himself the Son of God. Okay, now let's jump to verse 13. This is John 19, and we're going to read 13 through 16. When Pilate therefore heard that saying, he brought the Messiah forth and sat down in the judgment seat in a place that is called the Pavement, but in the Hebrew, Gabbatha. And it was the preparation of the Passover, and about the 6th hour. What time is the 6th hour? Because this is the preparation day of the Passover. So it's about the 6th hour. Right? Okay. About the 6th hour. So we know that that means it's what time? 12 noon. Okay. And he saith unto the Jews, Behold your king. Verse 15. But they cried out, Away with him! Away with him! Crucify him! Pilate said unto them, Shall I crucify your king? The chief priests answered, We have no king but Caesar. Verse 16. Then delivered he him therefore unto them to be crucified, and they took the Messiah and led him away. Now this is during the daytime here. This is during the daytime. Right here, during the day. All right. Now let's go to Luke 23. Luke 23 and 38. Luke 23. And we're going to read 38 to 47. Because we got to keep this together. Oh yeah. So for more content regarding Rise on the Third Day, go to brotherabnertv and search for Rise on the Third Day. Evening doctrine does not fit. Let's go. Okay, let's look at a time-lapse video of dawn, morning, evening, which is dusk, night. And what I want you to really do is pay attention to this home right here, because there's going to be a light that's going to be coming on as it begins to become dusk. And I want you to notice the time period from dusk to night, because the Elohim only called darkness night. He never named darkness And I want you to pay attention to dawn as it began to dawn towards the first day of the week. That's another type of twilight, just as dusk is another type of twilight. Let's go. Light is on. It's the end of evening time, turning to night. Wow, nighttime sure was a long time, but now it's dawning towards a new day. Twilight dawning towards a new day. And there's the sun. That's morning. When you see the sun, it's morning. Or you can calculate it on time if you pay attention to it. Wow, look at that evening time beginning. So if your day starts in the evening, your day is only about 3 hours long, maybe 2. If your day starts in the evening, I don't see how you can get any work done. Good night. I just want to thank the Most High Elohim of Abraham, Isaac, and Israel for everything.
Your ass and hide the Bible if God watching. Sometimes you gotta pop out and show niggas.